प्रेम से बोलो गणपति भगवान की जय। श्री शारदा माता की जय। उमा महेश्वरा भगवान की जय। भवानी माता की जय। श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। आदिपूज्यं गणाध्यक्षं आदिपूज्यं गणाध्यक्षं उमापुत्रं विनायकम् उमापुत्रं विनायकम् मङ्गलं परमं रूपम् श्रीगणेशं Salutations to thee, O Ganapati Bhagwan, Adi Pujam. Before all, you are the first to be propitiated. In an effort to further intensify our devotion and our conviction in your lotus-like feet, O Lord, we have come before thee, surrendered our thoughts, our words, and most undoubtedly our deeds are placed at your feet, O Lord. You are known as Umaputram Vinayakam, Vinayak, the son of Uma. Mangalam Paramam Rupam. If a devotee is to meditate on your form, auspiciousness will undoubtedly flow because your murti is the very source of such a blessing. Shri Ganesham Namamyaham. Indeed, our prostrations are laid at your feet this evening, O Lord. Please bless us, allowing us to recognize our strength and our abilities to conquer our enemies. Ekadantam Mahakayam Surya Koti Samaprabham Nirvighnam Kuru me deva sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhirupena Samsthita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Shri Saraswate Namah. बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो शारदा भवानी माता की जय। नमस्कार and Jai Sitaram, Jai Bhavani to each and every one of you, friends of humanity. Once again, it gives me great honor and it is indeed a blessing to be joining with all of you in moments of devotion. Thank you on behalf of the members and executive of the Shaanti Bhavan Mandir in New York for putting aside this time to join and enjoy Katha. I bow to each and every one of you again and again, recognizing you as murtis of the divine. Please, let us begin with a bhajan to Ganapati Bhagwan. Pratham namo Girijasut Ganapati. Pratham namo Pratham namo Girijasut Ganapati. Pratham namo Girijasut Ganapati. प्राठ समय उठ कर मैं ध्याऊं, प्राठ समय उठ कर मैं ध्याऊं, सुमिरत नाम तिहारो तिहारो, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। एक दंत गज कर्ण कहावे, एक दंत गज कर्ण कहावे, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता होवे, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता होवे, एक दंत गज, एक दंत गज कर्ण कहावे, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता होवे, वंदन तुझको है परमेश्वरी, वंदन तुझको है परमेश्वर, पूरन काम हमारो हमारो, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। सब देवों में पहले पूजा, सब देवों में पहले पूजा, महादेव भी आए दूजा, महादेव भी आए दूजा, महादेव महादेव महादेव, हो सब देवों में पहले पूजा, महादेव भी आए दूजा, महादेव भी आए दूजा, लंबोदर में हाथ में मोदक, लंबोदर हाथ में मोदक, मूषक पार पधारो पधारो, प्रथम नमो प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत समय उठ कर मैं ध्याओ, पाठ समय उठ कर मैं ध्याओ, सुमिरत नाम तिहार तिहार, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति, प्रथम नमो गिरिजा सुत गणपति। जय गणेश देवा, अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा, जय गणेश देवा, अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा। जय गणेश देवा, अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा, जय गणेश देवा, अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा, जय गणेश देवा, अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा, जय गणेश देवा, अष्टविनायक बहु सुख देवा। प्रेम से बोलो गणपति भगवान की जय। Dearest friends, devotees of the Lord Almighty, once again permit me to extend hearty words of welcome to each and every one of you to this 5th night of Vasant Navraatri celebrations dedicated to the lotus-like feet of the Divine Mother. I invite all of you to join with me in the Havan ceremony. If you've prepared to do so, first we will wash hands. Take the water and sprinkle it on the palms and rub your palms together. Om Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami Govindaya Namaha. Atha Achmana, sipping of the sacramental water. Pour water into the right palm and sip with Swaha. Om Amritopastaranamasi Swaha. Again. Om Amritapidhanamasi Swaha. One more time. Om Satyam Yashah Shrirmayi Shri Shrayatam Swaha. Wash. Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami Govindaya Namaha. Atha Angasparsha. Touching of the various limbs of the body for purification. Using the ring and middle fingers of the right hand, you will touch the water that is in the left palm and then touch the lips. Om Vangmaya Se eyes. Om Akshmas. Om Karnyor me Srotramastu shoulders. Om Bahavor me Balamastu knees. Om Rubor me Ojavastu entire body. Om Arishtani me Angani. Tanustanva me Sahasantu. Om. We ignite the fire. Om Bhurбhuvasva. Om Bhurбhuvasva. Dyauriva Bhumana. Prithviva Varimna. Tasyaste Prithvi. Devayajni Prishthim. Agnim Manadamanadhyaya Dadhe. Shri Agni Devayebhyo Namo Namaha. Prayers to Agni, the sacrificial fire. We pray not only for ourselves, but this entire world. These prayers are for all of you, your friends, your families. May peace and prosperity find its ways through your doorways and into your hearts and homes, indeed in that of your families as well. Om Agani Mire Purohitam Yagyasya Deva Mitvajam Hotaram Ratnadhatam अगनीनया सुपठारायस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् योयोध्यस्मज्जोराणमेनो पुष्टान्ते नमोक्तिं विधेमम्। प्रेम सुलग्नि भगवान की जय। रमयं सुशोभनं दिव्यं water on the Ankund. Om Ramayam Sushobhanam Divyam Sarvasaukhyaakaram Shubham Asanam Chamaya Dattam Grihanam Parameshwaram। Bole Agni Bhagwan ki jai। Now devotees, we will make offerings, 108 offerings of ghee on my side. If you have your samagri and ghee, you can offer as well into the fire, the sacrificial fire. We will chant Om Dung Durgaye Namaha, Om Dung Durgaye Namaha Swaha, 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 Om Dung Durgaye Namah Swaha. 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 Sarva Papaharam Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Chamaya Dattam Grihanam Parameshwaram. प्रेम से बोलो दुर्गा भवानी माता की जय. बोले अग्नि भगवान की जय. Indeed, when we take the moment from our busy schedules, our busy lives, to offer prayers not only for ourselves, but for others, importantly as well, we are able to feel so much difference in our mental capacity, in our mental being, and indeed from there, physically and also intellectually, our prowess will multiply. We will be able to traverse better this ocean of life. Those of you who joined in the Havan Yajna, thank you so much. And again, thank you to all of you for joining in tonight's Satsang. Friends, it is the 5th night and traditionally the 2nd night of celebrations to Mahalakshmi Mata, the divine goddess of light, she who sits within all of our hearts. And so this evening I have a desire to sing to the Divine Mother, Mahalakshmi Mata. You will notice that it is just me tonight. Meera ji has decided to join us from afar this evening. And indeed, we're so grateful to have all of your support. But more so, you and I are extremely grateful. We must be thankful. When we offer our prayers at least once a day, instead of asking for anything from that Divine Mother, say thank you to her for all that she has given to us. Friends, it is an important act to give thanks to that Divine Mother for all that she has given to us. We may not feel that we have a lot sometimes, but upon reflection, you and I will realize the magnanimity of the Divine Mother by scrutinizing our daily lives to realize that the very first and most important thing that any one of us could get, we already have. We saw this on the second night of this Mahayagya when Panditji Nuji, he reminded us that this life itself as a human being, this human body, is the most important thing we can have. The ability, the chance, the golden opportunity for the individual being, you and I, the souls that traverse all of creation, to find ourselves at the doorsteps of the Lord. A chance to build a better world. A chance to make a difference in the lives of others. A chance to find happiness indeed. We'll sing the Mahalakshmi Mata Chalisa. If you have the copy, you can pull up your copy and sing along. Matu Lakshmi Kari Kripa Karo Hriday mein baat O Maa O Maa Manokamana Siddha Kari Purva meri O Maa O Maa. Sing along, friends, and enjoy. सिंधु सुता में सुमिरो तो ही ज्ञान बुद्धि विद्या दो मोही तुम समान नहीं कोई उपकारी सब विधि पूर्वक आश हमारी जय 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 जननी जगदम्बा सबके तुम ही हो अवलंबा ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता जय माँ जय जय माँ जय माँ जय जय माँ ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता जय माँ जय जय माँ जय माँ जय जय माँ तुम ही घट घट की वासी बिनती यही हमारी खासी जग जननी जय सिंधु कुमारी दीनन की तुम हो हितकारी दिन वो नित्य तुम ही महारानी कृपा करहु जग जननी भवानी तेरी विधि स्तुति करो तिहारी सुधी लय जय अपराध विसारी कृपा चितवो ममोरी, जग जननी बिनती सुनि मोरी। ज्ञान बुद्धि सब सुख की दाता, संकट हरो हमारी माता। क्षीर सिंधु जब विष्णु मथायो, 14 रत्न सिंधु में पायो। 14 रत्न में तुम सुख दात्री, सेवा कियो प्रभु बनदासी। ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ। कृपा दृष्टि चितवो ममोरी, जग जननी बिनती सुनि मोरी। ज्ञान बुद्धि सब सुख की दाता, संकट हरो हमारी माता। क्षीर सिंधु जब विष्णु मथायो, 14 रत्न सिंधु में पायो। 14 रत्न सिंधु में पायो, सेवा कियो प्रभु बनदासी। जब जब जन्म जहाँ प्रभु लीना, रूप बदलता है सेवा कीना। स्वयं विष्णु जब नर तनु धारा, अवधपुरी अवतारा। जब तुम प्रगट जनकपुर माही, सेवा कियो हृदय पुलकाई। अपनाया तो ही अंतर जामी, ओ माँ विश्व विदित त्रिभुवन की स्वामी। तुम सम प्रबल शक्ति नहीं आनी, कह लो महिमा कहो बखानी। मन क्रम वचन करे सेवकाई, मन इच्छित वांछित फल पाई। तज छल कपट और चतुराई, पूजहि विविध भांति मन लाई। और हाल मैं कहूँ बुझाई, जो यह पाठ करे मन लाई। ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ। Devotees, if you have your prasadam to chahave, and if you prepared heart to offer to the divine goddess, please offer it now. ताको कोई कष्ट ना होई, मन इच्छित पावे फल सोई। त्राहि त्राहि जय दुख निवारिणी, विविध ताप भव बंधन हारिणी। जो यह पढ़े और पढ़ावे, ध्यान लगा कर सुने सुनावे। ताको कोई रोग न सतावे, पुत्रादि धन संपत्ति पावे। पुत्रहीन और संपत्तिहीना, अंध बधिर को दियंतीना। विप्र बुलाए कई पट करावे, करावे दिन चालीसा, आप पर कृपा करे गौरीशा। सुख संपत्ति बहुत सी पावे, कभी नहीं काहू किया वे। ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ। बारह मास करे जो पूजा, तेरी संग धन्य और नहीं दूजा। प्रतिदिन पाठ करे मन माही, उन सब को जग में कहु नाही। बहुविधि क्या मैं करो बढ़ाई, ले परीक्षा ध्यान लगाई। करी विश्वास करे व्रत नेमा, हुए सिद्धि उपजय और प्रेमा। जय 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 लक्ष्मी भवानी, सब में व्यापित हो पुण्य खानी। तुम्हारो तेज प्रबल जग माही, तुम सबको दयालु कहु नाही। मोहि अनाथ की सुधि अब लीजे, संकट काटि भक्ति मोहि दीजे। भूल चूक कर क्षमा हमारी, दर्शन दीजय दास निहारी। ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ। बिन दर्शन व्याकुल अधिकारी, तुम ही अक्षत दुख सहत भारी। नहीं मोहि ज्ञान बुद्धि है मन में, सब जानत हो अपने मन में। रूप चतुर्भुज करके धारण, कष्ट मोर अब करहु निवारण। तेहि प्रकार मैं करहु बड़ाई, ज्ञान बुद्धि मोहि नहीं अधिकाई। ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ। ओम जय महालक्ष्मी माता, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ, जय माँ जय जय माँ। त्राहि त्राहि दुख हारिणी, हरो बेगी सब त्रास। जयति जयति जय लक्ष्मी, करो शत्रु का नाश। सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे दे, भूति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी। मंत्र मूर्ते सदा देवी, महालक्ष्मी नमो Mahalakshmi Namo. प्रेम से बोलो महालक्ष्मी माता की जय. Such a beautiful Chalisa, such beautiful words indeed to the Divine Mother, seeking her blessings. I love especially the closing verse that asks, where the devotee begs the Mother. And we must pay heed and try to understand, dive into our texts, into our songs, our prayers. The Chalisa is nothing but a prayer to the Divine Mother. We must try to understand their meanings. Karo Shatru Ka Nash. But we must also be very careful not to misunderstand the words we're reading. Because here, the devotee who pens this beautiful Chalisa to the Divine Mother has propitiated her and begged her to help in the process of alleviating the enemies. And more so, literally the exact words used, Karo Shatru Ka Nash. Destroy my enemies, O Ma. This is why, more so, especially for the last 3 nights, in fact more for the last 2 nights, we've been stressing on the importance of a guru-like figure in all of our lives. Guru is important. The guru is able to help us to dissect these words and decipher the code language that they can sometimes be written in. That Karo Shatru Ka Nash, who is this enemy that the devotee is asking to bring about the destruction of? Who is this person, if at all any, that the devotee prays and begs the Divine Mother Mahalakshmi Mata to destroy? This enemy, friends, one who misunderstands these words will then sit down and start praying to Lakshmi Mata and start believing that Lakshmi Mata is the divine goddess who destroys and kills other people. Because greatly misunderstanding those words, we can sometimes feel in our lives that there are many enemies we have. And in so praying, then we will say that, O Ma, destroy these people for me. Be careful not to misunderstand. Like Camilla, she buy a brand new BMW. Her whole life she's only riding bicycle all over the place. And for she first car, she buys a brand new BMW. Now she goes home. She takes her husband with her to drive the car home. She said, honey bunch, me now want scratch him, you know. So carry him home for me now. Next day, she calls up the dealer. Angry as ever, red in the face. Like something is wrong with you guys, you're crazy. I never had this problem with my bicycle yet. So the person on the phone was trying to remain calm. But she was angry, she was upset. This car is not working, it doesn't even function properly. What kind of halfway car did you guys sell me here? And the lady on the phone trying to hold back any kind of anger as well, tried to remain calm and said, well, ma'am, please tell me what's happening. Camilla said that this car is a crazy vehicle. I don't want it anymore. Well, what happened? It drives perfectly in the daytime, but it does not drive in the nighttime. So the lady, holding back now her laughter, asks Camilla, what is going on? Tell me how you're driving this car really. What are you doing? She said, what do you think I am, a dunce? I went to the highest university that I'm getting in this world. I get like 40 PhD. I graduated from every school you can think about. When I start writing how many certificates and degrees I have, you can't find the biggest book in the world to fill that. You calling me stupid or what? And the lady is saying, well, tell me what you did. She said, well, when I put the car in D for daytime mode, the car drives perfectly fine. But when I put the car in N for nighttime mode, it does not go anywhere. So what kind of car did you guys sell me here? Of course, we have to be very careful. The lady on the phone busts out with big laugh. When we read something, we must know what we're reading. When we're dealing with anything, we must understand the true meaning. Don't be like Camilla. Buy your first car, buy your BMW, and put it in N for nighttime mode. That big trouble. Now you know me never get on Isle Roti tonight for sure. Here, friends. Let us sing again. I feel like singing to the Divine Mother. I feel like asking her for her blessings. Happy Navraatri to each and every one of you. This is a bhajan sung by Hariharan, and it was taken from the album Jai Ma, Divine Chants of Devi. To that Supreme Mother, she who is the one who forgives all, one who protects all, an ocean of mercy. O Ma, we bow to you, we surrender to you, and we ask that you bless us always. Vigneshwari, Vishwambhari, Sarveshwari, Jagadishwari, Vigneshwari, Vishwambhari, Sarveshwari, Jagadishwari, Tu Ambika Tu Kalika, Navachandika, Tu Narayani, Vigneshwari, Vishwambhari, Sarveshwari, Jagadishwari. Oh Ma, so many names there are of yours. Ambika, Kalika, Vigneshwari, Sarveshwari, Jagadishwari. You are the ocean of mercy, O Ma. Please take me under your shelter. करुणामयी है माता, तेरे शरण जो आता, बिन मांगे तेरे दर से झोली वो भर के जाता। करुणामयी है माता, तेरे शरण जो आता, बिन मांगे तेरे दर से झोली वो भर के जाता। माहेश्वरी, दुर्गेश्वरी, परमेश्वरी, सिद्धेश्वरी, माहेश्वरी, दुर्गेश्वरी, परमेश्वरी, सिद्धेश्वरी, तू अंबिका माँ, तू कालिका, नवचंडिका, तू नारायणी, विघ्नेश्वरी। is a prayer from the heart. Every bhajan is a reflection of the devotee's innermost desire. And allow yourself to surrender to her, because she is the provider and the giver of all that we need. Jaya Ma, 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 वरदान बस ये चाहूं, दर्शन तेरे पाऊं, दुनिया भुलाए पर मैं तुझको न भूल पाऊं। वरदान बस ये चाहूं, दर्शन तेरे पाऊं, दुनिया भुलाए पर मैं तुझको न भूल पाऊं। मुक्तेश्वरी रामेश्वरी अखिलेश्वरी वागेश्वरी, मुक्तेश्वरी रामेश्वरी अखिलेश्वरी वागेश्वरी। तू अम्बिका माँ, तू कालिका, नवचंडिका तू नारायणी, विघ्नेश्वरी विश्वम्भरी, सर्वेश्वरी जगदीश्वरी। जय जय मां, जय जय मां, जय जय मां, जय मां, जय 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 प्रेम से श्री नवरूप दुर्गा माता की जय। Sometimes we can forget that the Divine Mother is there every step of the way. We have to take the time to remember her, to instill within our hearts the memories of the Divine Shakti. Once again, let me invite you to join me in moments of Katha now. Before we go into a quick recap of last night's Katha, we see our daily Kabir Das Ji's verse. This is just the daily Kabir verse, of course. During the Yajna, we will quote from him many times. I feel like he's an inspiration for all of us. And those of us who are intent on making our lives a little bit better, one step at a time, simple and humble every day to live a good life. If at all the scriptures and these great saints and sages are telling us anything, they are saying perfervidly, with great hope, great zeal and zest, that you and I should always have a goal of living a good, simple, humble life. When we make it too complicated, then we don't know where to turn, what to do. So the message is, be simple. Even in your puja, do it with devotion, with love, to your heart's content, Place all your coconuts there. Place all your prasadam there. Do it with love. Don't worry about who will judge you. But when you do your puja, do it in the simplest, most beautiful way, not worrying about outcome. Even the Lord says this to us, This is not Dipak saying it to anyone. Reminding all of us, even the Lord says in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, action thy duty, reward not thy concern. Take a moment to reflect on these strong and powerful words. Do your duties and perform your action, perform your karma. Stand for something, otherwise you will fall for nothing. So perform our puja, but do it simply. There is nothing that says we cannot approach the Lord in a simple and humble manner. With simple and humble. जैसे तिल में तेल है. He speaks about the seed, the til, the sesame seed. जैसे तिल में तेल है, जैसे तिल में तिल है. Just as in that seed there is oil present, it is up to the very, very seasoned and experienced person to find that oil. जो चकमक में आग. And so too, like in the fire, in the light, there is a spark. It is the essence of that light. So within the seed, there is oil. Within the fire, there is a spark. The essence of both. Tera sai तुझ में है. So too, within you and I, our Sai, our Master, our merciful Master, our Lord, our Ma, our Bhavani is also within us as the very essence of our being. Tera Sai तुझ में है, तू जाग सके तो जाग. Bol Bhavani Mata ki Jai. If we can use these words of Sant Kabir Das to awaken in this slumber of ours, in this slumberous life of ours, then please take the moment to awaken ourselves. Only this, my friends, will enable us to move forward towards the lotus-like feet of the Lord. In simple terms, again we see other words describing how we can find our very essence, our being, the dharma of our being. In the seed, there is oil. In the light, there is a spark. These are the essences of these two things. In you and I also, the divine is found there. Tera sai tujh mein hai. And he throws a challenge here. And this is why I admire these words greatly of Kabir Das ji. Tera sai tujh mein hai. Your essence, your Lord, your Ma, the divine being is right there within you and I. I challenge you, jag sake to jag. If you can awaken with this, then do so now. Find that message and realize how important you and I are. How powerful and divine we are. How beautiful we are. How unique as well we are. Friends, let us awaken today. It is a clarion call of the great saint. Now, last night we looked at a topic, a very short topic towards the end that was a sort of a homework. We began by fortifying the topic of the importance of a guru in our lives. And we saw that a guru is not only a guide to the scriptures, is not only someone who prays for us and has our best interest in their hearts so that they continue to pray every day for us and our protection, but a guru is very importantly someone who can help us to find ourselves, peel away the false layers of the false self to reveal the true self, to multiply good qualities, to help us to rise above the dualities of this world, to rise above all the materialistic natures of this world. That is called moksha. That is called liberation. That is called mukti. Friends, we ended on a question that as Pandits we get very, very often. Almost every yajna I go to, a different place I go to, someone will be there to ask me this question, maybe with different words. And I'm sure you have also experienced a moment in your life where you have either asked this question yourself or probably heard someone ask it. And the question is, why do you find bad, wicked, evil people, any word you want to use in that term, in the mandir more than good people? Why do you find more bad people in the mandir than good people? And we asked the question, is that a proper question, first of all? And I think that next question that I just asked is for you to answer for yourself. Is that a proper question? Why are there more good people than bad people in the mandir? I think it really lies and relies on you and I having a definition of good and bad. Who is good and who is bad? And why are we trying to figure that out for everybody else? We hear it all the time. Many of us will go to the mandir, will sit there and will say, look at Hina, that person, if you know how bad they are, and look at them dressed so nicely, coming to the mandir to perform puja to Bhavani Mata, to bust them coconut. And Mekam was, this is even more bad. If they are breaking their coconut in Balidanam and it did not break properly, oh my God, them heart not clean. That person is a wicked, wicked person. That's why the coconut didn't burst properly. That's why the coconut is nasty instead of spoiled. It couldn't be that we didn't choose a proper coconut. It couldn't be that the coconut was not bad. No, it is that we know that because the coconut didn't break properly, that person is bad. So we hear it very often. And we see here, last night we asked the question, we said we're going to look at it today. Only a foolish person will think everyone else does not belong in the mandir but myself. Only a fool thinks like that. And I'm not afraid to say it because it's not a derogatory term. A fool is someone who has been hungry for a week and has now come into contact with food, but instead of eating the food, they went over there and they ate something that is not edible. Probably a piece of brick. That is a fool. When something great and something that we need is available here, we still go somewhere else to find something we don't need, thinking that we need that. That is a fool. Only foolish people like myself will think that only I belong in the mandir. I want to ask you this. When you go to the hospital or the office of the doctor, who do you find there more prevalent than others? Not sick people. Only mostly you will find people with an illness or a sickness or who has a concern that that particular doctor can help to alleviate. Isn't that so? You don't find a strong, healthy man walking into the office and say, Doc, check me, see if anything wrong with me. Maybe for a checkup, and even that is a concern. That is indeed a legitimate concern. You don't find that Dipak will say, oh God, I am sick from head to toe. I can barely walk, but I'm not going to go see the doctor now. Wait until I get better, then I will go see the doctor. Does that make any sense? Mandir, a source of light, a place of light that eliminates the entire community that is present within and removes all darknesses. It illuminates that community, it gives life and light to the community, and it destroys all darkness. It is supposed to. And friends, when we go to the mandir, in simple words, we are looking for that light. And because we are looking for that light, it means there is a presence of darkness within us. Which one of us in this world has so much light that there is no darkness inside? We're going to that mandir, to that source of light, to that place of light, because we need that light. The patient goes to the office of the doctor. So too, those of us who need the light of the Lord, the light of enlightened people, we go to the mandir. We join the satsang. We shouldn't be afraid and ashamed to say we need some light in our lives. Yes, there will be people there who has lots of light. Or a lot of people will be there who have great light within them that they can share with us. But why are we so afraid to say we need some light? We need a recharge. That's why we're going there. Let me tell you something today. If you are so good, if you know someone who is so good with no darkness inside, with only light and only goodness, you take that person and install them on the mandir's singhasan or altar, pull out all the murtis on that altar and put them there and worship them and pray to them every day. If they have no darkness, no evil, no wickedness, no tendency to commit a mistake, only goodness, you put them in the mandir and start praying to them. In fact, such a person does not have a need for the mandir. Only those of us who want to become better, who know that we can do better, will go to a place, will attend a ceremony and join a satsang that is equipped enough to bring for us light and to give us alleviation of our illnesses. So, in the mandir, friends, in fact in the doctor's office, when you go there, do you see people complaining that, oh my goodness, someone is too ill to be here, don't keep them here. They're too sick, they don't belong here. Do you ever see that? Do you ever tell yourself, I'm too sick, I don't belong at the hospital? No. Do you ever tell them they need to go home? They should be ashamed of themselves for coming to the doctor's office? They shouldn't see doctors when they're sick? We don't say that. So too, when you and I attend satsang, attend the mandir, we must not judge others and decide who ought or ought not to be there. Are we tasked with the job of finding the bad people of the world? Is someone paying us for this? Or is this a personal goal of ours? If so, nothing is wrong. Go ahead and look. If you pay me to find at least one person that is bad a day, I guarantee you I'll become rich very soon. But not by going out there and looking for anyone. Because the first and only bad person I will find, Kabir Das Ji tells us who that person is. Bura jo dekhan main chala, बुरा जो देखन मैं चला, बुरा न मिलिया कोई, जो मन खोजा अपना, तो मुझसे बुरा न कोई। सियापति रामचंद्र की जय, शरणम प्रभु। बुरा जो देखन मैं चला. Even Kabir Das Ji said he made it a personal goal of his to head into the world and search for a bad person. And what did he find? He said, Bura na milya koi. I could not find one single bad person out there. I could not find one wicked person out there. And there is a great majesty to his thinking. Jo man khoja apna. But when I took the moment to look within myself, says Kabir, तो मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. I couldn't find a person more wicked, more bad than my own self. Couldn't find that. Goodness, wickedness, good and evil are both naturally present within us and are a part of us, friends. And we see these things from our kathas. Even Kal Bhushundi had good and bad within him. The Guru will help to decipher the two. The enemy that we were asking Mahalakshmi Mata to destroy, the enemy is not the neighbor. The enemy is not the co-worker that we think is our enemy. It is the self, the false self, the false identity. And the three enemies of the six enemies of the self rather, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, jealousy, infatuation and false pride. We've been looking at false pride, that ego. They're all present within us. Goodness and wickedness and evil and all these different qualities and propensities are present within us. Gone are the days when we only listen to and speak and sing from the scriptures. Now come the days, friends, when we have to start living them. These are practical things to live every day. Find within yourself the qualities that can take us astray. Try to control them. This is what happened to Indra. Allow others to find their own nature, live their own lives. We must find our own nature and be able to allow our propensities, whether good or bad, to prevail over our beings. This is exactly last night what happened to Indradev, the king of the heavens. Although he represents goodness, although his army represents the army of goodness, they lost the battle. They were predominated by their own evil tendencies of ego and false pride. That is so powerful that it will knock us down very hard from our high horse. And when we get knocked down, the fall is very, very long and very, very difficult to bear, but not impossible. In the eternal battle, I want to say, friends, this evening, in the eternal battle between good and bad within all of us, our choice, number one, our choice decides who wins. Again I say, in the eternal battle between good and bad propensities that is happening within all of us, in other words, there is an eternal battle that is happening within us every day. Victory and defeat, our choice decides how that happens. Our choice decides who wins this battle, not out there, but in here. These are the messages of the scriptures. It is a daily battle, like I said. It is a never-ending one. Indeed, the moment we judge others lower, thinking that they're lower than us and that they have evil tendencies and we have none, the moment we start to judge others thinking that we're better than them and they're lower than us, those evil tendencies within us have won that battle. But we have another chance to redeem ourselves. And that is where we left off last night. At that point, when we have allowed our evil tendencies to prevail, awaken, and demolish or kick down and break down our good, kind, and divine tendencies, our goodness, what happens then? Can we redeem ourselves? Despite our mistakes, will Devi Ma accept us? Those are the questions we ended with last night. Because I seem to remember from a young boy, people saying that if you make mistakes, don't go to the Divine Mother, she will not accept you. I seem to recall even recently, we are told that we, having made mistakes and done things that are considered to be wrong, will not be able to redeem ourselves. God wouldn't accept us. We've learned these things as kids as well. But we must not fool each other. We must not fool the children. We must let each other know what a merciful Lord, what a merciful Divine Mother we pray to. Friends, let us sing to that Mother. Let us see what happens next. Indradev and his entire army lost this battle. And now they're there. We saw that they came together. And having come together, see how great decisions they've made? The first thing they decided to do now, as a decision amongst themselves, was to pray to the Lord. They prayed to Bhagwan Vishnu, they prayed to Lord Shiva, and they asked, कोई पल ना बीते ऐसा याद तेरी ना आए, आते जाते सांस की धड़कन महिमा तेरे गाए, बोल ओम नमः शिवाय, बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय. And they prayed to the Lord and they asked, "Oh Lord, please protect us. The world is now being ruled by a ruthless person, a ruthless leader who does not care about what others think. He does not give any thought to what others think. He does not respect you, oh Lord. He has no care for you. He has no care for others. And indeed, he brings the entire world to its knees through his tyrannical leadership. There is no proper leadership, O Lord. He has now taken the reins of the heavens and earth everywhere. He's ruling everywhere. And I wonder, these texts were penned so long ago. Markandeya Puran, so long ago. How appropriate and relevant are these kathas in today's day and age? Do we see the world that we live in today? Forget about the leaders that are in charge of the countries and this world. Look at the leaders in the smaller organizations and think about how less the Lord is honored. Let us take for example a temple. Any temple, whether of Hinduism or any other religion. How often do the people who are in care of those organizations, do they put God first? Because that is why the temple exists. It is a source of light that flows the light of the Lord everywhere. Every parva must be observed, whether you have one person or 1 million people there. As a mandir, that is the duty of the mandir, to observe every session of every parva. And if help is needed, then call out for help. It will come. It has to come. We must be cognizant of this fact. We must put God first. As leaders, we have to realize that we must put God first. We say that in that bhajan. Koi pal na bite aisa yaad teri na aaye. Not a moment will pass me by, O Lord, that I will not think of you. And I will chant, Om Namah Shivaya, Bolo Om Namah Shivaya. But here we find that we have forgotten the Lord. Even in our own home sometimes we forget God. All of us, we're guilty of this. And this is the job of the beggar, to remind us, to beg us, please remember God, pray to God. It is natural to forget Him. And that is why I admire this part of the katha and this katha so much. Because it talks about the person, the devotee, you and I who live in this world, who make mistakes. What will happen to us when we make mistakes? When we forget God, when we don't think of God. But now we are coming to pray to God. See, many of us are of the thought process that if we are bad, we shouldn't pray to God. Remember the saying? Look at that person. Oh my goodness, they're so bad and they're praying to God. But what does God have to say about it? If you read all the scriptures, including the one we are looking at this evening, friends, you will see that the Lord is so merciful, He accepts all. Let's see, as we continue this great scripture of the Divine Mother, Shri Dipak, Shri Shri Durga Part. Sing with me, friends. Pray with me, chant with me. They came together and they started to pray to the Lord, Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Shiva, and they begged and they asked for help. What happened? Let us see. Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Durga Bhavani Ma, Ambe Bhavani Ma, Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma, Ambe Bhavani Ma, Ambe Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Durga Bhavani Ma. Tatotiko paparos purnasya. There they saw Bhagwan Shiva, Bhagwan Vishnu appear. All the devatas were standing there praying. And as they started to pray, the bodies of Lord Shiva and Bhagwan Vishnu started to light up. They started to give off this brilliance, tejas, this wonderful light that made the entire region bright, brighter than anything they'd ever seen. Tatotiko papurnasya chakrino vadanatata. Tatotiko papurnasya chakrino vadanatata. Nishchakram mahattejo Brahmana Shankara Saja. Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Durga Bhavani, Durga Bhavani, Durga Bhavani Ma, Durga Bhavani Ma. Prem se bolo Rup Durga Maharani ki Jai. And here, friends, in order to understand and feel this katha more, you have to close your eyes if you can. Please, if you're driving, now close your eyes. You have to close your eyes if you can and light up the burners of imagination of your mind and take yourselves now to this place where prayers are being sung and they're praying, and then Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, their bodies started to light up. And as their bodies lighted up in brilliance, and this tejas is mentioned here, this brilliant light, the light, they were in a circle, it converged in the middle into one light. And then all the bodies of all the devatas present there, they all started to light up even more. And all the light, so brilliant, so shining. Remember Mahishasura, that demonic king, that tyrannical ruler who did not care about goodness, who did not care about God. He was now God. He wanted others to pray to him. His power, his stature, his position got to his head so much so, no one could defeat him. And that power made him so proud and egotistic in nature that everyone had to bow to him. The world served him in fear. Sad to say, many of us are like that today. And friends, when they prayed and they prayed and they prayed and their bodies started to light up, the divinity started to emerge and project from within. It became one humongous light. And this light was shining so brightly that so far away was Mahishasur and his kingdom and his army, they could see this light shining in the horizon. I tell you, with all the might and power that he had, when he saw that light, he started to tremble with fear. Because just the light alone that emanated from all their bodies was something he had never seen before. With all his power, with all his might, he started to tremble with fear. And when that happened, friends, there at that point, this light started to form into something. What happened then? चरण कमर है तेरे. Yes, indeed, there is a law of karma. Yes, indeed, we have to live the reaction of our actions. This is the theme of our yajna. But that should not stop us from approaching God. Don't use it as an excuse to not turn to God. Of course, if we do wrong, we must gain the results in return. That is common sense. To think otherwise is folly of us. But I love these words, that despite our karma, we should never feel that we cannot turn to God. She is Ambe, she is Bhavani. She is the one who will accept us, no matter how dirty this body, this being is of ours. Ambe! Sing to her. Oh, Ambe, charan kamal hai tere. Which form of the Divine Mother appears here? What happened next? As this light started to glow and grow inside, what happened? Hum bhare hain janam janam ke, hum bhare hain janam janam ke, nish din dete phere Ambe, charan kamal hai tere. Ambe, charan kamal hai tere. Atulantat pratate jah sarvadeva sharirajam, sarvadeva sharirajam, ekastam tadabhunari yakalokar prayam disha. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, 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 Jai Ma. बोलिए भवानी माता की जय. The light turned into the form of a woman. Tadabhunari. And who was she? What was her name? Her face was developed by that energy of Lord Shiva. And you have to start imagining now all the murtis of the Divine Goddess you and I have on our altar. I wonder which form, which aspect is being formed here today from all of their energies. Her hair, long and beautiful and black, grew from that energy of Yama. Her arms from the energy of Bhagwan Vishnu. Every part of her body was formed from the energy by all the devatas present there. She attained all kinds of weapons now. Little clues to see who she was. She received a trident from that very trident of the Trishul of Bhagwan Shiva. She received the chakra discus from that of Bhagwan Krishna himself. The conch shell from Varuna, the spear from Agni, the bow and arrow from Vayu, the thunderbolt and bell from Indra, a stick of destiny from Yamraj, a noose from Varuna, a water pot, a kamandalu from Brahmadev, sword and spotless shield from Kal himself, Lord Shiva. Many jewels and garlands and different things were gifted to this beautiful Devi who is now before them, all of them. Can you guess who is appearing here? If you can guess, please note it in the comments. Let us engage the best we can to see who is appearing here. She was then presented, friends, with a vehicle. I think this will give away to most of us. Of course, she carries this vehicle in many forms as well. She was presented with that vehicle. Let us see what this vehicle is. Jagdambike, sing everyone, clap your hands if you can and glorify her. Jagdambike, Ambike, Jaya Jaya Bhavani Ma, Jaya Jaya Bhavani Ma, Jagdambike, Ambike, Jaya Jaya Bhavani Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Ma, Jaya Janani Ma, Jag Janani Bhavani Ma, Jag Janani Bhavani Ma. I love these kathas. They bring peace to the mind. Adadat jaladhistasyai pankajam chati shobhanam himavan vahanam singham singham jayava singham himavahanam himavan vahanam singham ratnani vividhani cha le ambike jai bhavani ma o jagdambike jai ambike jagdambike jai ambike o jai ambike जय अंबिके प्रेम से बोलो भवानी माता की जय. The ocean presented to this Devi a beautiful lotus flower, and then the king of the mountains, Himavan, presented her with her vehicle, her Vahan, the great, the ferocious lion. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Saddha Namostute. Om Dum Durgaye Namah. Everybody, Om Dum Durgaye Namah. Prem Salanavaru Durga Mata Ki Jai. Her name was and is and forever will be always Durga Mata. She, the Divine Mother, as Durga Devi, appeared there. And it is important to note, friends, how she appeared. This is why I am such a great devotee of these words, of these kathas. I'm a servant of these scriptures because they talk about things that we can use in our lives. The Divine Mother did not shoot out from the skies, from the mountains. No light came from anywhere else, but from within these devotees themselves, these beings themselves. And believe me when I tell you today, that tejas, that divine light, that energy, that shakti, that power is found within you and I as well. And if we are able to take a moment and surrender and offer our prayers, we will undoubtedly allow that light to flow from our beings and lead us in this world that can be sometimes very dark and dreary. They have done so much for us, our mothers. And I want to pause here for this, at this moment, at this juncture of the Katha. Because there all of them prayed and she appeared, the Divine Mother, that Ma, that Devi, that Bhavani. And this pause to deviate from the words of Sri Krishna Dvaipaya and Veda Vyasji is to honor our own mothers. They've always come to our rescue. They are representations of the Divine Mother. Friends, many of us will not want to take the time to perform our duties, especially if it is presented to us. I tell you, those of you who have the opportunity to be next to your mother, to live very close to her, and to have her today in the world, be very thankful for that golden chance. When you cry, that is when she runs the fastest. Like these devotees who cried out to her. Who will ever love us like our mother? Who will ever do so much for us like the mother has done and will continue to do? No mahine udar mein rakha jab duniya mein aaya. For months she kept us in her womb, the body going through so much physical changes that we cannot even imagine the pain. And then she brought us into this world. Sardi lagegi, chadar uda kar. Sardi lagegi, chadar uda kar. Stan ka doodh pilaya. And the first thing she did was to protect us. Even when they hand the baby to the mother, she ensures that that blanket that covers the child is set properly. The instincts of the mother is so natural. From the moment we cry out to her, she comes to our protection. Kaun karega itna? Kaun karega itna? I don't think another person in this world is packed with so much love and protection like our mother. माँ ने हमको प्यार किया है जितना कौन करेगा इतना. We must take a moment. How dare we go before the Murti of the Divine Mother and we haven't even taken a moment to say hi or worship or pray or bow to our own mother, even in our hearts. How can we not recognize that she is the very Murti of the Divine Mother? Today we kick them to the curb. Not you nice people, but some of us. We don't want to see them. We don't want to know them, sadly. And as they get older, as they grow in age, many of us feel a sort of resentment towards taking care of our mothers. There are children who will do it only for some sort of monetary rewards. Not you nice people, but there are. And it's very sad that the woman who gave her entire life in servitude of her family and her children has to suffer so much pain. And while many of us can help her, we would not want to do so. I beg of you today, even after all of that, that some children will do, even after all of that, still then, that mother will love that child unconditionally. I beg you, please, take a moment to recognize the divinity within our own parents, within our own mother and father. Because no one in this world will love us like they love us. And we must find these gems in the scriptures and bring them out to live our everyday lives. Like I said, gone are the days when we read the scriptures. Now come the days when we must live them. To continue now in our Katha, friends, the Divine Mother Durga Devi appeared there, and the devotees worshipped her, loved her, and they started to pray to her. What happened next? Mahishasur, like I said, sitting from afar, thousands and thousands of miles away. That is how humongous her brilliance is, that it can be felt and seen from very far away. Shook the very foundations of evil. The might of divinity will always shake the foundations of evil if it is pure. And look how pure it is. It came from their hearts, and that light emanated from their beings and gave birth to the Divine Mother. Today I promise you that light can come out of all of our beings, can project rather from all of our beings, and help us to help ourselves and help others as well. Don't wait for a day for the lights to come from the skies. Make your divinity feel its presence in your own life. Build your divinity, because the power is there in you and I. And I ask you to now let us see what happens next. If you want to know what happens in this Katha next, how does the Divine Mother react to these devotees? Does she help them? First of all, we see here, despite their mistakes, despite their many shortcomings, she still came to them. She still appeared. She was still there. So, in the examples of our scriptures, we see how merciful our Divine Mother is. You want to know what happens next? Come back tomorrow night and invite a friend to join us as well. Jai Lakshmi. We sing to that Divine Mother and we ask her again and again to always be with us. That Oma, despite all the faults and limitations that we may have, Ek mai mand moh bas kutila hriday ajnana. Wicked at heart, unable to function as a good person. Oma, O Lakshmi, please protect me and do not let go of me. Kalyani Maiya, Jai Lakshmi, Kalyani. I'm sure most of you, if not all, will know this bhajan and will want to sing along. Please join with me. If you're celebrating a birthday or some very auspicious or positive occasion, please know that this bhajan is dedicated to you. Dedicated also to the feet of the Mother on your behalf. Let us sing. जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी मैया, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी मैया, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी। सब आए शरण तिहारी मैया, आए शरण तिहारी मैया, दे दर्शन महारानी, दे दर्शन महारानी। मंगल में पावन मैया, कृपा सदा बरसावे, दीन दुखी शरणागत जन के, बिगड़े काज बनावे, तू अनंत महादानी मैया, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी, जय लक्ष्मी कल्याणी। बोलिए महालक्ष्मी माता की जय। And we sing just a verse from one more bhajan. This one is dedicated to the feet of the Divine Mother, Jagajanani Durga Mata, on behalf of those devotees who are suffering a loss, who are suffering any kind of illness of any shape or form, or who is just not feeling okay. I pray that she brings goodness and kindness and some form of solace to you. जग जननी जय जय, ओ माँ जग जननी जय जय, भयहारिणी भवतारिणी भयभाविनी जय जय, जग जननी जय जय, माँ जग जननी जय जय, भयहारिणी भवतारिणी भवभामिनी जय जय। तू ही सतचित सुखमय शुद्ध ब्रह्मा रूपा, जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ, तू ही सतचित सुखमय शुद्ध ब्रह्मा रूपा, सत्य सनातन सुंदर, पर शिव सुर भूपा, उमा पर शिव सुर भूपा, जग जननी जय जय। Sing everyone. माँ जग जग जननी जय जय भयहारिणी भवतारिणी भवभामिनी जय भवभामिनी जय भवभामिनी जय जय. Friends, thank you once again to all of you for joining in tonight's satsang. Shubha Navraatri to all of you. May your prayers be answered by the universal Shakti, and may you and I always remember and recognize that she's always there, always giving us just right of what we need to succeed in this life. Take a moment to recognize her. Let us join now in closing prayers. Om Jai Tvam Devi Chamundai Jai Bhuta Paharini Jai Sarvagate Devi Kalratri Namostute Kalratri Namostute. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Bole Bhavani Mata Ki Jai. Do join us again tomorrow evening as I conclude my contributions to this Mahayagya with my final session and the 6th session of our Navraatri Yagya. Again, God bless all of you. Enjoy a peaceful and blissful night. Prem Salo Satya Sanatana Dharma Ki Jai.